Kidding, I'm gonna just start like always. So what's up guys, Tea Party Percy here and welcome back to a new guide. And this time we're gonna talk about crafter gear. But before we do that, as we always do, I'm gonna go back to what happened the last week, which was new resource letter, second resource letter, and there was something important which most of the guys missed, so I'm gonna talk about it too. And at the end, I have to tell you something about a Q&A stream which gonna happen next week. Let's start with resource letter, which came out last Friday as mentioned. Most of the information in resource letter was about, it's kind of like a beginner's guide. Risha explained a lot of stuff for, noobs or like beginners who never played Lost Ark before. But there was something which most of the guys missed. I missed it to you, but Beckinot saw that and shared it in the Tea Party Discord. So yeah, thanks Beckinot. And what was the important thing there? Actually, there was a screenshot from a Bard level 50 in Risha's letter, as you can see here on the right side. And if you compare it with the picture on the left from last CBT, first you can see there is an additional tab on the top, which is for the cosmetics. And more important change is the combat stat on the right side. We had in the last CBTs the combat stat called Harmony in that place, which gave you more elemental damage. You dealt more elemental damage and the incoming elemental damage got decreased the higher your value or the number in that stat was. But now it got removed. You can still increase your fire damage or water damage, whatever, through runes and set effects. But instead of Harmony, we have now something called CC damage. I'm not sure here what the effect of CC damage is, or like what's gonna happen if you put points in there. We don't see the context menu there, but I guess it's gonna be something like if someone is CC'd or something is CC'd, your damage on that person or that monster gonna get increased. And it has also most likely the counterpart, which means if you are CC'd, the incoming damage gonna get reduced. And if it's like that, then there's gonna be a really important PvP stat. The counterpart of this stat will be, I don't know which one it was, but there is a combat stat which increase the impairing damage. That's gonna be important for PvE stuff. And as mentioned, the CC damage gonna be really important for PvP stuff. So let's wait and see. Now, back to our main topic, which is the crafter gear. So first, what is the crafter gear? Crafter gear is something for guys who want to explore, don't want to do too much world boss or guardian raids, you can do that. But you want to focus, let's say, on island hearts or getting Mokoko seeds or just completing their adventure book, you can go for crafter gear. Because most of the stuff you need to craft the crafter gear are just life skill materials. You can gather them on your way and then you can just build the crafter gear. You can build the crafter gear at the crafting NPC. If you watch my NPC guide, that NPC is close to the other armor and weapon crafting NPCs. For example, in Lutheran, the NPC is on the bottom right. So those NPCs are always together and easy to find. Now you can see a picture of the first crafter gear you can craft. This one is, for example, for Bard, but of course every class has or got his or her crafter gear. And this one is item level 270. This is tier 1 crafter gear and it goes up to tier 9. The first crafter gear is easy to craft, as you can see, just need basic life skill materials and nothing else. And that should be done like as soon as you reach max level, you should be able to craft it and boost your item level to 270. Moving on, if you want to upgrade your crafter gear from tier 1 to tier 2, which gonna increase the item level of your gear from 270 to 285, which is like 15 item level more, you have to get 2 additional items. As you can see, you go to the same NPC which you went to craft the first tier of item and you can upgrade the tier 1 item or tier 1 set to tier 2. To do so, you need all the equipment or parts from tier 1 and 2 additional items. Put them together in a box kinda, and you craft and you're gonna get another box. And if you open the box or the chest, you're gonna get a complete or full tier 2 set. Those 2 additional items, I'm gonna explain later how you can get those, but pay attention to the sword token. I'm gonna call it like that. I don't know how the exact name is, but sword token. I hope everyone will understand that. So the sword token indicates kinda which tier you want to upgrade. For example, if you want to upgrade to tier 2, you need the sword token tier 2, as you can see. The crystal, for the first few upgrades, you're gonna need the same crystal, which is gonna be tier 4. Gonna change later, but you will see it soon on the next picture. And ta-da! You can see here from tier 3 to tier 8, all the sets, or yeah, actually all the gears you can make. So it's gonna be like from tier 2 to tier 3 and from tier 3 to tier 4 and so on. The first difference you're gonna see here is that the item level increased not by 15 like from tier 1 to tier 2. It's gonna increase after tier 2, like from tier 2 to tier 3, you're gonna get 20 item level increase between those tiers from basic stats. So of course you can enchant those gears and get like an item level boost for 5 per enchantment, but at the end a tier upgrade is more valuable than just enchanting. So after tier 2, as mentioned, you're gonna get always, if you upgrade, 20 item level more from the base gear. Also, to upgrade to tier 3, you need the sword token tier 3, and you can see there it goes on like that. To upgrade to tier 8, you need the sword token tier 8. But after reaching tier 5, to get to tier 6, you need a legendary crystal. And from tier 6 to tier 9, you're gonna need the legendary crystal, and the same one for all those upgrades. But before you ask, guys, no, you can't skip. So you can't skip from tier 3 to tier 8, because to upgrade to tier 8, you need the tier 7 set item. The highest tier of crafter gear which you could make in the previous beta was tier 9. As you can see here, that is the first legendary crafter gear set. It is level or item level 425, and it needs the legendary sword token and the legendary crystal. And don't forget, all those crafter gear also got set effects. You can see that on the bottom there are 3 set effects. The first set effect is random battle ability. It's gonna be something random as it says, but it could increase your overall damage or maybe your attack speed and something like that. The second set effect though is something specific to your class. It's gonna give you a random class skill effect, which means it could increase a certain spell's damage or decrease a certain spell's cooldown timer. The last one depends on your gear part. Depending on which part you look at, it's gonna give you from 1 to 3 rune slots. For example, the weapon you can put there 3 rune slots, and the headpiece you can put 2 runes in it, and the torso or the chest piece you can put also 3 runes, and so on. Now let's talk about how to get those tokens and the crystal. For the first few crystals, you're gonna need just life skill materials tier 2. So you gather them and you can exchange those for the crystals. All those NPCs to exchange the crystals and the tokens, you can find them close to the table where you can enter the platinum field, the cube or the tower. I also mentioned that or explained that in my NPC guide. Check it out, guys. You don't need the same amount of, for example, wood. Why is that? Because as I mentioned already in one of my previous guides, some of the life skills materials are harder to get than others. For example, woodcutting, mining and gathering are a lot easier to get, so you will need to collect more of those to exchange for 1 crystal. Fishing is a kind of mediocre, but hunting and archaeology gonna be really hard to get or to gather those materials. That's why you just need 90 or 70 of those. So that doesn't mean you're gonna be faster to get the crystals if you do archaeology. As mentioned, it's really hard to get those things, so it is most likely you're gonna need the same amount of time to gather 300 flowers or the 70 relics from archaeology. Similar to that, you can get the legendary crystals, which you need from tier 6 or tier 5 to tier 9 by exchanging tier 3 crafting or gathering materials for the crystal. Again, the numbers you need or the materials you need depends on the life skill. To get the tokens though, it's gonna be a little bit harder, because as you can see, the tokens, you can exchange those tokens for platinum field currency. So yeah, you guessed it right, you have to go to platinum field. Platinum field uses the same entry ticket like cube, tower and boss rush. So you have to decide if you want to focus on that or like divide it equally, but I mentioned that in my currency guide. But of course, if you want to focus on crafter gear, you will use most of your daily tickets for Platinum Field. If you enter the Platinum Field, you should do that with a group, and depending on which life skill you do, you're gonna enter one of the two Platinum Fields. The first Platinum Field is for gathering, lumbering, mining. The second Platinum Field is for archaeology, fishing and hunting. So depending on what you do, you should find 3 other people who have or need to go to the same Platinum Field, and you have to do it in a group, because those tokens which you need to exchange to those sword tokens are not gatherable just in the Platinum Field. In the Platinum Field you can gather materials for your life skill, but while you do that you can also get some rare relics which you can bring back to the entrance of Platinum Field. It's a different map of course, and you will get some bonies. And at the end, depending on how many relics you collected and some other stuff, you will get those tokens. So the more you collect, the more coordinated you are with your party, the more tokens you're gonna get, and the easier you will be able to exchange those for the tokens. I don't have a Platinum or Platinum Field guide yet. I didn't have enough footage to do that, but I'm gonna link you in the description or image which explains how the Platinum Field works from Crazy Merc Fan. So thanks for that, Crazy Merc Fan, and you can just have an overview there how it works. So yeah, that's all for crafter gear, and in my opinion it's the best way to get to or to level up item level if you are the explorer or the crafter guy. And I'm also pretty sure that they're gonna add more tiers later on. Tier 9 is not the end, so you will be able to progress higher just with crafter gear. And of course, if you have any questions left, as always, you can write in the comment, join our Tea Party Discord and ask there, and we will give our best to answer your questions. But before we end this guide or video today, next week, Friday, 8 PM CEST, so Central European time, I'm gonna make a live stream, Q&A live stream. A lot of guys from my guild and from Discord wanted me to do that. So during the stream, I'm gonna go through most of my guides which I did in the previous months and try to answer your questions which you have left. And yeah, I hope to answer those last few questions, and you will be prepared hopefully after the stream for the OBT. But that's not all. There's gonna be a live reveal of something special. It's gonna be kind of like the second part of the reveal or surprise, but this one is even better and a lot more important for those guys who are more competitive and don't want to waste their time. They want to go to certain stuff when it's time for that. So I don't want to explain too much about it, but yeah, it's gonna get revealed on that stream. So until then, as always guys, thanks for watching, thanks for all your support, and I'm so fucking hyped for Lost Ark. So yeah, till next guide or till next stream, see ya, bye bye, your Tea Party Percy.